just wanted to be less emotional, and I thought if I was less emotional, people would accept me better. Hi, my name is Malar Villi Suppramaniam. I am the founder of Hearts&Minds Development Center. What do I do? I work with individuals so that they bring the best self to life and bring about optimal performance. And how do we do that? We do that with empowering emotions, right? Our greatest strength, I suppose. My background, as you can see, I am Indian, of Indian origin, and I grew up in a very small town in Ipoh called Buntung. So what does that mean? That means that I grew up with a lot of traditional values, limited maybe mindset and thinking. English was never good enough, and I'm female. And I suppose in the years that I grew up, nothing much was expected of me except to perhaps be a good woman in the traditional setting, not to speak up, not to have my own feelings, thoughts, and identity. Well, typically, I think if you're a woman and when you get married, you are supposed to ride on your husband's identity. I think that's how I was brought up. And I think when I left home to be here, I began to realize that I can be my own person. And thank God, I married a man who also helped me realize that I'm my own person. Unfortunately, we make judgments of people based on the first impression because they equate success and the image of success with competency and the difference you make in the vocation you have chosen. And not many people are kind enough to give you a second chance. I know I've lost a couple of second chances because I didn't make the first right impression. And that's really because I think I have just stayed comfortable being me. I think it is something that I continue to experience, and I need to remind myself that it is okay to be that way. I think my unique strength is my emotion. So when I was younger, I always got the feedback that I'm emotional. And I really thought something was wrong with me. And in the last 25 years, I must say that I had taken that feedback so seriously that I started searching for answers because I just wanted to be less emotional. And I thought if I was less emotional, people would accept me better. Now I know my emotions helps me to understand who I am, how unique I am, how different I am. And with that understanding, I am also able to encourage others to get in touch with themselves, to stay connected within, so that they can then bring their best selves out. Because without emotions, what are we? I think number one is it's really acceptance of what I feel is really okay and it's really normal. And it's part of being human. And what it does for me is that I think once I accept myself, then the question becomes, what do I want out of my challenge, right? What I'm learning is that every event in your life, every situation in your life helps you to understand yourself better, connect within. And I think that's the greatest challenge because you then get introduced to a newer, better version of yourself. And with that, whatever choice or decision we make is really, for me, what overcoming challenges is all about. So I think that's generally how I work with my challenges. Understanding, what emotions are coming up, what is it telling me about me, what do I want now, and what's my next course of action. From my Mrs. Chang Poh Kwan, who picked me up in school when I was standard 5 and believed my story that I don't know how to do my homework, and sat down with me to teach me how to do my homework and overcome the belief that I'm not smart. But before that, it was my mom who told me every day education will get me out of poverty, because she didn't want me to have the difficult life that she had. And how can I forget my bosses, who I would say tolerated my authenticity that was so unpolished and gave me a second chance because they saw my passion, they saw my commitment, and the ones who gave me those opportunities, right? Definitely my husband, because he has taught me over and over again that I am my own person. In fact, I think my dad, who was such an old-fashioned Indian man, was one man who struggled with himself because I had fought for, from the need to talk back. And only now I understand how much he must have struggled to let go of his own values and belief. And that's because he also embraced it, even though he didn't shout about it. Based on the difficulties I have had, whether people come from underprivileged background or they are like my mom, a woman who struggled through her life to find her place in the community, in the society, or if it is someone like me who had difficulty believing that I'm good enough in terms of my academic qualification. And I hope that whenever I have seen them, I believed in them and I gave them another opportunity. And some men who are not understood. Now, what is that opportunity I'm giving them? An opportunity to speak up and share their emotions, because that's the way I wish these things were available for my dad. And if he had, maybe he would have done better, healed better, and life would have been so much better for so many people. So yes, I do think that I've turned my pains into pearls by gaining insight, having empathy, and being compassionate where I can. And I hope